ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might be following us from. If you are on Facebook, welcome to Facebook live streaming on the Insurance Scoop. You may be watching us as an after effects, after fact on YouTube. Welcome as well. Today we are going to be talking about health insurance. As you can see, normally there would be a lady by the name of Simphiwe Dlamini who would be introducing herself as my co-host. Unfortunately, she's not here with me today. Today I'm a solo host. Nonetheless, we are thrilled that this show is going on, and it will always get better and better. Please do stick around with us on the show, as we will be having a question at the end of the show. And if you do send in your answer, you stand to win something. Hopefully, you will be the winner. So to get us going, by way of introduction of this subject, it would be nice if every one of us knew exactly when one would get sick. Then we would be able to prepare for it. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You never know when you are going to fall sick. But the only way around that is that you make sure that you get an insurance, a health insurance policy. And United Holdings is one such organization called the United Health Insurance that provides you with that comfort that in the event that you fall sick, you will be covered. So today I'll be discussing United Health Insurance, and my guests are none other than Mr. Mathebula, who is the operations manager for United Health Insurance, as well as Ms. Ngwenya, who is our group sales manager. So without much ado, I want to cross over and start the discussion for today, where we will discuss what is health insurance, what does it cover, and then what are some of those questions that users always have. We will try to have them answered. Please do post your questions on or below so that we can also attend to those questions immediately. You can always get a hold of us on many other platforms. So we are all on the various many social platforms, but our toll-free number 800-1010, 800-1010. Please do send in your inquiries, whether it be you want to open a new policy with us, or you want to ask a question about your existing policy, or you have any other question that might be troubling you. You can get a hold of us there. But if you opt to use WhatsApp, we are on 7808-8050, 7808-8050. You can get a hold of us there. Or you can go to our website for more information, www.united.co.za. You will find forms, application forms, information about United Holdings, any information that you need. And also our contact details are there. So without, like I said, let's get on to today's business. Can I say hello to Mr. Mathebula? Mr. Mathebula, how are you today?
Good evening, Mr. Bear, and thank you for having us again today. And we wish to also greet your viewers of your show, and we are hoping that today they will also be able to learn more about what we do at United Health Insurance, and would be happy to interact with your viewers throughout the show.
Thank you, and you're most welcome. This is your second time, Mr. Mathebula. The first time you came, we were talking about the Men's Health Month. It was actually at that show that we had a lot of requests from our users, from our followers, that they would like to know more about insurance. We will go in depth today with you on that. And then I also have in the house Ms. Lungle Ngwenya, who is, like I said, she is our group sales manager. Ms. Ngwenya, would you like to say hello to our followers?
Good evening, Mr. Berry. How are you, sir? Thank you for having me on this exciting scoop for United Health Insurance.
It's a pleasure having you, Ms. Ngwenya. You have missed 1 or 2 shows of ours. You are very elusive and hard woman to get, but I'm happy that today we managed to pin you down and you're appearing here today. So to get us started, I'll start with you, Mr. Mathebula. Give us an understanding of what health insurance is all about.
Thank you, Mr. Bere. Yes, health insurance, most people would know it as medical aid, as it has been predominantly known over the years in terms of the offering from the industry. But with the growing industry in insurance in general, there has been a need to also introduce health insurance, which also, just like your other insurance products, is designed to take care of your health needs in the event that you need to get medical attention. So once you are enrolled and have a policy with us, you then get the chance to be able to get medical attention, especially in the private facilities, whereby you find that the care becomes a little bit more advanced and a little bit more, accessible and convenient for a client. So that is why we then have clients take up health insurance specifically to ensure that when they need to be attended to, they can be attended to with speed and also be attended to with care and with the due diligence that is required for them to be fully recovered and continue to be productive in their different spheres of life.
Thank you for that response. I note you mentioned there, Mr. Mathebula, that it's similar to medical aid. Someone might be asking themselves, what is the difference between medical aid and health insurance?
Well, thank you for that question, Mr. Bere. It is always a question that many people will ask because you find that they would not understand what the difference is. But to a large extent, to the consumer, you will find that they will find it almost the same. But if you get deeper into the product, you will understand that in terms of the way you get to enjoy the product, it is a little bit different from a medical aid. In terms of the composition of the whole organization, it is different between a medical aid and a medical insurer, because a medical aid is an organization that is set up, and it requires a lot of members to be into it, so that they can cross-subsidize each other in terms of the cost that they incur whilst they visit the different hospitals and they access that care. But then with the insurance, it is in a way designed in such a way that each and every person is charged a certain premium, which is then used to give that person the cover in the event that they need to access the benefits that they require. So you find that for a medical aid, your funds might dry up at some point in time if there are no many members that are joining the medical aid. But with the insurance, because the client, with paying the premium, they are guaranteed that should they need to get cover, they will be given cover. Specifically because from time and again, we are required to keep certain capital reserves, which are specifically set up to ensure that should our members all need to claim, we would be able to utilize those reserves and ensure that everyone enjoys the cover that they've taken with us to the maximum that that we have signed up with them. So that is where the difference then comes in terms of how you enjoy the benefits and how the setup is between the two organizations.
I think that is quite important. You talk of guaranteed continuity in an insurance organization as opposed to a medical aid whose funds might run out. So there is more security there. You talk of being expected. Tell us about how you are regulated as United Health Insurance.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bere. We are a financial services provider, and as such, we are regulated by the Financial Services Regulatory Authority, which is the FSRA, to whom we are expected to comply with all the rules of insurance, and further to they further supervise our performance. We do give periodic reports to the regulator so that they can be satisfied that the promise that we have given to our clients, we will be able to fulfill at any given point in time. So we fall under the FSRA, FSRA Act, Insurance Act, and all other regulatory acts that they are in the insurance industry. But we are under our license is issued by the FSRA.
Which is very important, Mr. Mathebula, that we are a regulated organization, which means we are not just a company by the roadside that if you come and pay your monies, we can disappear tomorrow, or that your money will be misused, because the FSRA is there to monitor this. And even if you have a complaint, you can go back to FSRA or the Ombudsman and ask that your issue be looked into. Therefore, you can get fair service from us in the event that we do not. But Mr. Mathebula, United Health Insurance is committed to delivering excellent service to its customers.
Sorry, please come again.
I was just highlighting that maybe you would want to speak on how United Health Insurance is committed to delivering quality service to its customers.
Well, indeed, Mr. Bere. As a company, as you would, as your viewers would know, we are a group of 4 companies under the United Holdings umbrella. And at the core of our values is customer centricity. Same is highlighted in our vision, which also highlights the point around customer centricity. So we always go beyond and everything that we can, and do everything that we can to ensure that our clients are well taken care of at any point in time. We are available 24/7 should a client need our intervention. We have rolled out our systems to ensure that service efficiency is guaranteed, and clients enjoy that, whether they go to service providers to access care, whether they need to inquire anything about their policies. We even have self-service portals where they can log in and check their policies and whatever they need to do. So we always strive for customer satisfaction in everything that we do, because at the heart of our operations is the customer, and we want to ensure that our clients are always taken care of, and they're always proud to be associated with the United Holdings brand, especially because we offer a wide range of products, which will ensure that our clients, they always keep with us and get all the products that they need. And we can guarantee them that throughout the different products that we're offering, they will always enjoy the best customer service that is there, that money can buy in the market, especially because of our accessibility at any point in time, from the service floor to the top management. We are all available and are available to assist at any time when a client has got any issues or requires any intervention that they might need when enjoying our different products.
Yes, Mr. Mathebula, I think that is quite impressive. We go over and above to give customers the best service that can be delivered. I'm just looking at my screen and I don't see Ms. Ngwenya. Ms. Ngwenya, are you back?
Yes, I am here, Mr. Barry.
Oh, great. I want to, Mr. Mathebula had started on something very interesting, but before I come back to you, I want to go to Ms. Ngwenya. Ms. Ngwenya, from a sales point of view, you are the face of United Health Insurance and the group at large. Tell us about what sort of facilities in the form of branches and other touch points do we have to avail ourselves to our customers, existing and new customers alike.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Perry. We have 11 branches across the country where clients can get services. Either they want to get more information about our health insurance products or they want to join. Whatever queries they have, they can also go to those branches. These branches include Manzini headquarters, which is opposite Enguleni building and Easter House. The other branch is still in Manzini, where there was Dup's funeral home. The other branch is at Matapa. We have a branch in Ezulwini. We have a branch in Babane. We have a branch in Hlangano. We have a branch in Pixpic. We have a branch in Matata. We have a branch in Stegi. We have a Stegi Bombo Mall. We have a branch in Simunye Plaza. We have a branch in Buhleni. Those are the 11 branches that we have, Mr. Perry. And they can also contact us at the call center. We have a call center that is fully fledged. They can call a number which is 800-1010, where they can dial in. It's a toll-free line. They can call and inquire about the United Health products. Then we can explain to them. Even if they want to join, they can also join online.
Indeed, Ms. Ngwenya, that is quite an extensive branch network. I think in the country, there is no other organization or insurance organization that has spread itself so well across the country. But in the event that you are an organized group or you have organized yourselves, when your team is ready to visit them wherever they are and talk to them about UHI products as well as other products.
Yes, anywhere around Eswatini, we are available anytime convenient to the client. We are at their service. They can just call and make an appointment. We can reach them wherever they are in Eswatini. We have an external sales team that go out to meet clients. Yes.
Excellent. Mr. Mathebula, you had started when you were talking about the excellent service that you provide and said you also have a self-service portal. I know that for a fact you have been engaged in improving systems at United Health Insurance. Would you like to touch a bit on that?
Well, indeed, Mr. Perry, we have been engaged in a process of improving our systems. We have just finished implementing the new system. I think our clients, we did an exercise whereby we invited them to come and change their cards. We've also been sending out communications on emails, which includes client statements on a periodic basis. Whenever we receive a hospital bill, it is immediately sent to the client's email address so that they can be notified. And should there be any issues around that particular bill, the client can immediately raise that with us, and we were able to intervene. So we have heavily invested in systems specifically to ensure that our customer servicing is greatly improved, and the access to our services clients is made very easy for them.
So the business is always investing in the latest technologies available in the industry to make sure that customers receive the best support they can. I believe also this system also provides service to our service providers or to the different medical centers, Mr. Matsebula.
Yes, the system allows for the service providers to also log into the system, check clients' benefits, and be able to speedily assist the client, because we are trying to ensure that the time that a client spends at the hospital is minimal, especially now whereby we are in the COVID-19 era, whereby we're trying to avoid crowds, we're trying to avoid places whereby you can easily get you can easily contract the virus. So it has been important that we put through the system so that the service speed is greatly improved, and ensure that the clients spend minimal time at the facility, and they can as soon as possible leave the facility. But what is important is that they get the best care that they need, because the facility is able to check the benefits of the client, and they are able to utilize whatever they need to utilize at a cost-effective manner. Again, because we don't want to be we don't want that the funds for clients be exploited just because they can now access the benefits. So we do have controls around that, again, because we also have our internal team, clinical team, that is able to review those bills to ensure that whatever is being charged on the client, it is relevant to the diagnosis of the client and the treatment plan that is required for that particular diagnosis. So we have done that, and we are happy that it has greatly improved our service speed at the facilities in particular.
Excellent. This is quite impressive, Mr. Matsebula, but it's not something new to United Holdings companies. They are always trying to be ahead of the curve when it comes to the application of technology. Mr. Matsebula, I want to move on to speak specifically to your product offerings. I'm sure there are people who are wondering, what does it cost me to become a member, and what do I get out of it? Maybe I could pose this question to Ms. Ngwenya to please address. What are the products that are on offer? What do they cost me, and what do I get out of them?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Perry. We have different plans that we have. The first one is the Essential. Then we have Essential Prime. We have Essential Plus, and we have Comprehensive. Under these plans, we have different categories. You either choose Plan A or choose Plan B, depending on how much the client can afford. Going on, under these plans, we have inpatient benefits and we have the outpatient benefits. If I can explain the inpatient benefits, it includes hospitalization, and it includes hospital cashback. Should you be, or a client be hospitalized, then a client on a dead day can get cashback. Then we have a motor vehicle accident benefit, which is also paid out. Then under the outpatient benefit, we have acute benefit. I'm not sure, Mr. Perry, if I can also state the amounts, but it will maybe take long time because there are different amounts attached to each benefit. But if I can maybe say,
at least give us an idea of the lowest going up to the highest, so that people can see that we have something for them in our product profile.
Okay. Oh, it means now the lowest plan is the essential. A client can pay 311 per member, depending on how many members the client wish to add. Each member has a premium. It's not like the funeral whereby one can pay a premium and include any other dependent. It's per head, it's premium per head. So now it means under essential is 311 per month. Then we have our highest level of cover, which is the comprehensive plan. Per member is 2,375 per month.
But this, sorry to cut you there, Ms. Ngoya, but there is also a payout or a maximum benefit to these packages?
Yes, there is benefit. There are benefits to this. If I can start from where I started when I talked about the inpatient benefits. Under the essential plan, it means the hospitalization is from 50,000, and under the comprehensive, which is our highest level of cover, is up to R1 million. Should you be hospitalized, that's the amount that you can pay. Then under the hospital cashback, under the lowest cover, which is the essential, a client can be paid 100 per day. After the third day should be the client be hospitalized, and it's up to 500 per day, which is the comprehensive cover. It's up to 500 per day. Then we have our motor vehicle accident benefit, which is 50,000 on the lowest cover, which is the essential. Then under the comprehensive is 200,000. Wow. When I go on to, okay.
Wow, I can see, Ms. Ngoya, that there is the benefits are quite high, the lowest being 50,000 in case of hospitalization, 100 rand per day spent in a hospital as a cashback plan. We pay you to be sick essentially, Ms. Ngoya.
Yes, should you be hospitalized, that's how much we are supposed to pay. It is encouraged that clients can take our medical or our health insurance so that they can be hospitalized. We are using public hospitals, which is the RFM and Good Shepherd for the essential plan should a client be hospitalized. But for the comprehensive or any other plan up to the comprehensive cover, a client can be hospitalized in any private clinic in Eswatini and in South Africa.
Mr. Matsebula, if I can bring you in. Ms. Ngoya talks about being hospitalized in any private hospital for the comprehensive plans. Tell us about your arrangement with hospitals outside our borders.
Well, indeed, Mr. Pere, we do have links with the hospitals specifically outside of the country, which we utilize in cases whereby we now need to transfer a client from or to refer a client from our country to South Africa, specifically for cases whereby you find that there are certain specialties that the client needs to see, which we do not have in the country. Then we facilitate that the client is referred to South Africa to see that particular specialist doctor. But the importance of it is that we have established relationships with the hospitals in South Africa, which allows us to enjoy preferential rates when the client visits those facilities. It is unlike when an individual goes there, because then they will be charged higher than if they would be going through our established relationship. So that is why we always encourage that we have and also we know clients should notify us if it happens, because it cannot always be on a referral. We know that there's a lot of travel between our country and South Africa. So you might find that sometimes you are in South Africa and you are a person who has got a heart condition. And whilst you are there, your condition picks up and you need immediate attention. So there would be those particular cases, but to a large extent, the facilities for referrals, specifically because there are rules that are governing access to the different facilities in different countries, because you will know that to a large extent, medications are subsidized by the government. So when the government of South Africa, for instance, is subsidizing medication, they are subsidizing it for their own people. So you can't just go there as a Swazi to enjoy a benefit for South Africans. So there has to be that engagement between the two countries to say, we now need to access your facilities because a life is at stake. Then that is when it is granted, and then you get a medical visa to go there and be attended to. But over and above that, we still need the relationship because we get the preferential rates because of the volumes that we give to them of clients that we refer to their facilities for different procedures. But also, it would be good to highlight that should it happen that a client needs probably that they have minor ailments that they need to be attended to, they can walk in at any Clicks store. Clicks has a clinic inside it, so they can always go inside there and they will go to the clinic and they will be attended to using their card, even if they're in South Africa or also in Swaziland. They are always free to access those services as well.
Wow. So I don't have to worry when I'm traveling to South Africa that I suddenly feel sick and I just walk to the next click, or if it's serious, to the next available facility that United Health Insurance will advise, and I can get service. That is excellent, Mr. Mathebula, and I don't see why customers who do not have policies with us are not dialing in right now. Ms. Ngwenya, the other area that I wanted to speak to is the waiting period. Unfortunately, this is something very common in the insurance industry. There's always a waiting period before from the time you join to the time you start benefiting. Can we look into the timing periods, waiting period, sorry, in this case?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Berry. The waiting period, we have a general waiting period of 1 month. Then we have a 3 months waiting period for hospitalization and funeral plan, because we have a benefit which is free aided, which is a funeral plan, which is embedded on the health insurance. It's a matter of killing two birds with one stone, Mr. Berry. Then we have a 6 months waiting period for chronic illnesses. We have a 6 months waiting period again on dentures and optometry. We have a 6 months waiting period on hospital cashback and mental health. We have again 12 months waiting period on maternity. And the last one is about 12 months waiting period on wellness benefits.
Wow. Definitely, these are very reasonable waiting periods, but why do we have to have these waiting periods? Because some people might not appreciate why I've started paying now, you are only going to give me a service 3 months down the line.
Oh, okay. It is to safeguard our book, Mr. Berry. Like, this is insurance. Some can join with different intentions, and after getting the help that they need, then they can cancel the policy. So it's to ensure that premiums or the client's funds are protected. So that is why we have a waiting period in any insurance policy. But we do not have a waiting period if a client already have an existing cover with any other insurer, as long as they provide proof we can then take them on board without serving the waiting period, or rather depending on how long is that existing insurance cover, then you can take it up from there.
So in other words, Ms. Ngwenya, we are saying the waiting period is not meant to reserve money so that we can then start giving you service, but just to protect the business from someone who is already in a critical condition to come and join today and start benefiting tomorrow. Thank you very much, Ms. Ngwenya. You know, I've got so many questions, but I also realize that our viewers have got some questions. I've got some questions that have coming through, some of which I think we must touch on because we've got hardly 20 minutes left. I'll try to pick on questions that might not have been covered. Here's one question that says, how long does it take to get money after claiming, Mr. Matsebule?
Well, thank you, Mr. Berry. Maybe to be firstly to highlight that to a large extent, the claiming happens between the hospital and ourselves as the custodian of the client's funds. It is on a rare cases whereby a client will come to lodge a claim directly with us, because all that is required for them to claim is for them to go to the hospital, produce their card and their ID, and then they are able to be assisted, and the hospital will then send the bill to us to say your client came and they accessed these services, and this is the bill for that. But it should happen that a client comes because probably they went to a provider that we currently not contracted with, then they would come to lodge a claim, fill in the forms for that refund, and the processing of that claim takes time between 7 and 14 days. Then those funds should have been paid to the client's account because we do EFT payments.
Okay, so the unique times that we do process claims directly to customers is if they received service from any service provider whom we do not have a relationship with. I think that is clear. I think also this next question, I think it's related to the cashback that we talked about. Says, do I get a cashback if I do not claim for a year or more?
Thank you for that question. It is a question that we always get from our clients, and I've always, we always try to explain the concept around a cashback, or sometimes it's called a no claims bonus. For such benefits to be included in the benefits, Mr. Berry, like I said, we need to have enough reserves for those benefits, and reserves are built around the premium that we charge. So as we introduce some of these things, the covers then tend to be expensive for the client. Yet what we have decided on as a company in our conscious decision of participating in the financial inclusion agenda is keeping our covers affordable to our clients, so that the core reason or the core mandate why they take up these covers is because they want to access quality medical care. So we want to make sure that the covers are affordable, so that clients will still be able to take up the covers and enjoy the benefits of having these covers by accessing care at the hospitals. But also, if you look at the no claims bonus, how it's calculated and how much people end up getting at the end of the year versus the savings that they make in terms of the premium contributions that we charge against what is being charged in the market, you find that the savings that they gain by being with us far outweighs the amount that they get as a no claims bonus at the end of the year. And I can argue now to say a 500 rand saving from today until December against me getting probably that's 3,000 at the end of December. I would have done a lot of things with the 500 along the way than I would do with the 3,000 in December. So the time value of money then also comes into play where that is concerned, which is why we always say, in as much as we would, it's a nice to have benefit, but the cost of it far outweighs its benefit, both in terms of the premium that gets to be charged, and also in terms of the time value of money in spending that savings that you would have done probably at the end of the year, because as you know, exchange rates change every day, and the value of money today can be far less tomorrow, which is why then we're trying to make sure that our plans are affordable. We are though working on something to introduce that incentive, but also we want to cautiously ensure that it doesn't make our plans expensive, but it continues to make them affordable, whilst we also have these nice to have benefits in the plans.
Indeed, Mr. Matsebula, not all that glitters is gold. Our policies, in other words, you are saying they do not have necessary frills so that they remain affordable. Be careful that you may be thinking that you are going to get a no claims bonus at the end of the year, but actually what you contribute towards that no claims bonus is higher than what is necessary. Thank you, Mr. Matsebula. Ms. Ngwenya, I have a family, or I have a child that I have had out of marriage. Can I add them to my medical policy?
Yes, Mr. Berry, if you have a child, you can add a child under your policy at an additional premium. Now you have to provide proof, which is the birth certificate, if the child is your biological child or your stepchild, and if the child is adopted. But we then take a child from as early as birth to the age of 18 years. Then that is a child. Above 18 years, then you will need proof that the child is still at school or the child is is disabled.
Okay, so for disabled dependents, the company or United Health Insurance recognize them as dependents and will cover them until forever. For children, if they are after older than 18 but in school, they are still covered.
Yes, they if they are still at school, they can be covered up until the age of 22. But if they are disabled, we'll need again a doctor's note, which will give us an idea that the child is mentally or physically disabled and cannot do any work. So that one can be totally dependent on the parent. Then they can pay an additional premium for that child.
No, I think that one is clear. I hope the person who sent us this question is answered. The next question I have here is, what if my preferred doctor under health insurance is not one of your service providers? I guess the person is asking, if I prefer another doctor outside those that are listed by yourselves, what happens?
Okay, that one was partly answered by Mr. Matsebula. it does happen because we have service providers that we have established relationships with in around Eswatini and beyond. So whenever a client decide to use a service provider that is not our service provider, they are allowed to do so. Then they can claim a refund afterwards.
That's nice. I've got another question. It says, can I open health insurance for my parents who are over 65 years?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Perry. They can. Okay. What normally happens here is that the eligibility is from 18 for the main member to 49. Then you have spouses, they are covered from 18 to 49 as well. Then you can cover your children from 0 to 18. Then we have adult dependents. It means that can include your parents from 18 to the age of 65. They can be covered. You can add them on your policy and pay an additional premium for them. But there is a difference when it comes to comprehensive cover plan. It will no longer be the 18 to the age of 65. We'll cover your parent from 18 to 59 years old. We're not extending to 65 like other plans.
Oh, I think that clarifies that one, Ms. Ngwenya. Definitely, you can cover your parents or anybody else that is over at any age, precisely. There is one here, an interesting one. Is funeral cover part of your benefits? I think we did touch a bit of it on it, Ms. Ngwenya.
Okay. Funeral cover is another benefit under the outpatient benefits that we have. It's from 10,000 to 20,000, depending on the plan that you have taken with us. Under the essential plan is 10,000, and then on the highest, which is the comprehensive, then it's 20,000 cover a beneficiary per annum.
Oh, okay, that's great. We've got some questions on Facebook. Good evening to you, Senani Seni Gwala Gwala. Thank you very much for writing in. I hope you're enjoying the show. Your question reads, there is no waiting period when one is from an insurance cover. Do you refer to medical insurance or funeral cover insurance? That's the first question. Maybe you can answer that one, and then I'll go down with the other question that Senani has asked.
Okay, we refer to the health insurance that you can bring proof that you have an existing cover with any other insurer. Then you can then waive the waiting period depending on the status quo of the previous cover. Then the funeral benefit is then embedded on the health insurance product. It's automatically embedded. It's a free added benefit, if I can put it that way. As long as you have health insurance, you can then get this benefit.
So their waiting period is waived if they were on another medical aid card.
Yes, as long as you get proof.
Yes, I think that clarifies. Then Senani goes on to say, also, what if I'm in the health insurance for 2 months, then I discover that I need an operation? How many months would that waiting period be? Do I qualify for the hospitalization, the cashback, and so
on? Okay. For hospitalization, the waiting period is 3 months, Mr. Bear. So it means the client cannot qualify for the 1 month general waiting period is for the acute, should you have a headache, decide to do consultation, that one cannot wait. There is no waiting period on it. It's just an example.
Okay.
But when it's something that has to do with hospitalization, it's a 3 months waiting period.
There you go, Senani. Unfortunately, you have to have saved for the 3 months that is required. And then you say, yes, Mr. Matsebula, you want to add to that?
Yes, maybe just to also come in on that question, Mr. Berry. We should highlight that we do also have specific waiting periods around the procedures, which is at 6 months for minor procedures and at 12 months for major procedures. And how we classify these is on the cost that these procedures carry. For minor procedures is up to 50,000, and then for major procedures is those above 50,000 and upwards. But also we must also advise clients that it is very important that when they come to join our covers, they must be as honest as possible when they interact with our consultants, to ensure that they give them the most accurate information about their medical status, so that there is a continuity of care on their medical conditions. Because if they do not disclose the illnesses that they have, you find that there's then an interruption in terms of care that they must get. But also, some will try and think that they will beat the system. Unfortunately, everything is coded in the medical sphere. So each and every code speaks something about the condition and the state at which that particular condition is at. So you can try and say you're only discovering that you need this procedure 2 months into the cover. But when we review the condition in terms of the signs and what the doctors are saying, they will reveal that this condition is actually a year old or 2 years old. So it is very important that you be honest as possible, so that we can together with you design a continued cover or a continued care of your particular condition, because we want to ensure that all our clients, they get to live as long as they can. So it is very important that we assist each other in terms of continuing with the care that they've been receiving.
Important indeed, Mr. Matsebula, that customers must disclose so that you can be assisted in the best way possible. If you don't do that, you will get a typical solution, which is not necessarily what you will need. Very important. Senani lastly says, what if I don't claim the whole year? Will I have some cash benefits at the end of the year? Mr. Matsebula, perhaps you could take that.
Well, I think we had touched on this as we're going about, I think, on some of the questions on the show, to say that this is a benefit which is a nice to have and not necessarily a need to have. So we had said that currently we are not doing a no claims bonus because we are trying to ensure that our plans remain affordable to our people. But also, I did indicate that we are working on something to include this type of a benefit, but we want to ensure that as we introduce it, we don't get our plans to be expensive, and in that way, not allowing our people to access our covers and get the care. And what you are most concerned about is ensuring that all Maswati are covered on medical insurance, and when they need to go to hospital, they are guaranteed that they can go to any facility and they will receive the best care that they desire. We have done a comprehensive reach in terms of our network of service providers across the country, where our clients can access care. We have also ensured that we also open up for facilities such as your RFM, such as your Blue Chip Heart, because as we interact with our clients, they have told us that they also want to access those hospitals. So we have widened our network across the country to ensure that Emaswati can receive the care that they need at their nearest point, so that we don't lose life whilst we are traveling to far away facilities unnecessarily.
Wow. Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Mathebula. I think I'm losing your audio. It could be my end.
Well, I can hear you perfectly this side.
Now I can hear you as well. Sorry about that. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure where you lost me.
I actually thought you had finished, Mr. Mathebula. Oh, there you go. I've lost you again. Regardless, Mr. Mathebula, I think unfortunately time is not on our side. Time is very jealous. It's already 7 p.m. I just want to say hello to our Chief Operations Officer, who is also on the platform watching from there, and many others who are watching us. Please do keep your support, and big up to all the champions at United who are also following. Senani has also come through again. Mr. Mathebula, I get you, but what if there were no signs of the sickness? The patient was fine, only to discover when she was visiting the hospital. For example, we ladies, we suffer from period pains, only to, from, let me take that again. For example, we ladies, we suffer from period pains monthly. Then I decide to go to the doctor and to have some checkups of the period pain, only to discover that I have maybe got cancer or fibroids. So they're saying that, or Senani is saying that it may be that it's a genuine case that I did not know, and I've been paying for 2 months. What happens?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Senan. True, there are instances whereby it is a case that you are only discovering the condition and you've already been on the plane. Well, what then happens then at that point, like I mentioned earlier, we do have a team of clinicians within our structure, which is able to look at the different conditions and advise. So you find that there are conditions which are urgent in nature, in the way that if they are not attended to, the condition may deteriorate and have a long tail effect, whereby the cost of managing it will become even more. But also it can lead to a loss of life, and that is not both scenarios are not what we are looking for, because we want to preserve life as much as possible. So we'll then look at how life-threatening that particular condition is, and see how we are able to assist each other in terms of accessing care for that particular condition. You will have cases of emergency procedures which are life-threatening, and as such, you will then have to deal with those on a case-by-case basis. But otherwise, in general, we'll have access to procedures once you have served the waiting periods that have been placed for those cases.
Thank you for that, Mr. Mathebula. Like I said earlier, I think we need to be closing it up. Our time is up. I want to say to Senani, please do get a hold of us. I have something special for you. I will, well, when you get a hold of us, ask for Whedon, and you deserve something from us for being attentive. But we also said we will be asking a question at the end of the show. Mr. Matsebula, do you have a question for our viewers? I do have a present, a prize as well for them. Whoever gets the answer first on Facebook. Mr. Matsebula shaking his head. He was not, I caught him unaware there. But yes, this is a question. This is the question that I will ask. Can one open health insurance for their old parents who are over 65? Yeah, that's the question. Let us have the answer to that question. Can one open health insurance for their parents who are over 65? And you will get something from Mr. From Simpiwe, not me. Simpiwe has always got the presents, or the prize rather. I'm thinking of presents because today I was seeing a lot of people with presents at United Holdings. But yeah, thank you very much, our viewers, for watching the show. Your support is always appreciated. In closing, Mr. Matsebula, your final words.
Thank you, Mr. Bere, for having us, and thank you to your wonderful viewers for being with us throughout the show. We do hope that from here we'll be getting invitations to come through to their different areas and their different workplaces, so that we can be able to delve into depth on the different solutions that we can offer them, so that they can always get the best care. We do have an exciting partnership with our sister company, United Pay, whereby we are saying to those SMEs, if they take up covers with the United Health Insurance, their employees will enjoy a pre-approved loan facility, whereby in instances of stress with finances, they will be able to pick up a call United Pay, and they will be assisted with the loan without a hassle. So we are going to be looking forward to invitations from everyone, and we'll assist them. And thank you so much for having us on the show, and good evening to everyone.
United Health Insurance ready to offer service, and they are partnering with United Pay to offer you loans should you need them. Ms. Ngwenya, your parting words.
Thank you, Mr. Bere. We're just saying to viewers, you may never know what's going to happen with regards to your health. So we encourage our viewers to open health insurance for them and their families. We have service providers in Eswatini and beyond. For any inquiries, we are available. They can contact us on 800-1010, and we have our external sales team that is available at their convenience. And we have branches in around Eswatini. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Ms. Ngwenya. It was a pleasure having you, both Ms. Ngwenya and Mr. Matsebula. I look forward to having you again in the near future. And to our followers who have been following, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure hosting you. My name is Whedon. It has been a pleasure. I look forward to meeting you again next week, same time, 6 p.m. every Thursday. And to get hold of us, please do use our toll-free number 800-1010 or our WhatsApp number 7808-8050, 7808-8050. It has been a pleasure. Please have a pleasant night. Goodbye.
Bye.